Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm about to tell you. No, seriously, this is not a drill, this is not a theoretical scenario. What you're about to hear is the kind of moves that shake the entire NFL. I'm shaking right now. My pulse is sky high, my adrenaline is pumping like never before because what's unfolding right now is the stuff of legend. You think you've seen everything? Think again. You thought the NFL couldn't surprise you anymore? Wrong. Because what's happening behind closed doors, what's being whispered in secret meetings, what's brewing in the shadows is a game changer so epic that it's going to redefine the entire landscape of 2026. And listen, if you want to be ahead of the curve, if you want to see the entire picture, then you better hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on the notification bell because you're about to get exclusive access to the biggest secret in the NFL right now. This isn't just a trade rumor, this isn't just some fan speculation. No, this is happening. A move so colossal that the entire league will be talking about it for decades. And only the insiders, only those in the know, are going to understand the magnitude. So get ready. Because what I'm about to reveal will blow your mind. This isn't just an ordinary offseason, folks. No, this is the moment where history could be written, where a franchise that's been stuck in mediocrity, in struggle, in rebuild mode, suddenly transforms into an unstoppable juggernaut. And the key. A name you've heard of, but perhaps never imagined would be on the move. One name that could turn the entire league upside down. Hold on to your seats, because what's coming might be the most explosive, most shocking, most insane trade scenario you've ever seen in NFL history. Now first, let me set the stage because you know the NFL isn't just about stats and plays. It's about the behind-the-scenes drama, the whisperings, the power plays, and the secret negotiations that can't be leaked. But somehow, someway, I've got the inside scoop, and I'm going to take you deep into the heart of what's really happening. We're talking about the Washington Commanders. Yes, the team that's been stuck in the mud for years, battling every season to find its identity. After that heartbreaking 5-12 record in 2025, losing close games, struggling on defense, and hoping that the new regime under Dan Quinn and GM Adam Peters could turn things around, their offseason has been a whirlwind. They've shuffled coaches, fired their defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. After a league-worst defensive year, brought in David Bluff as the new OC, and are actively scouting the NFL and college ranks. But beneath all that, what's really cooking? What's about to turn everything upside down? Now, imagine a world where the Commanders decide not to rebuild from scratch. Imagine them realizing that what they really need isn't just a quick fix, but a leap into the future. An injection of superstar talent, a game changer that can propel their franchise back into playoff contention and beyond. That's where this trade comes into play. But hold up, before I go there, I need to tell you what's happening with the player at the center of this storm, Michael Wilson. Yes, the Michael Wilson, the breakout star of the Arizona Cardinals, a WR who just smashed through the 1,000-yard barrier in 2025, with 78 receptions, 1,006 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Do you know what that means? That means he's now officially proven he's an elite, reliable, explosive receiver. One who can take any game over, who can create mismatches for defenses, who has that rare blend of speed, hands, and route running that coaches dream about. And what's crazy? He's only 25 years old, entering what many consider his prime. His 2025 season, an absolute statement. He went from being a quiet rookie in 2023 with flashes of promise to becoming the GOTO guy for Arizona when Marvin Harrison Jr. got injured. Remember that. The Cardinals' offense was sputtering in the first half of 2025, but Wilson, he stepped up huge when the team needed him the most. The stretch from Week 14 through Week 18? Insane. He racked up 492 yards in those final 5 games alone, including his career-high 142 yards against the Rams in Week 14. This guy is the real deal, an X-factor, a Mack truck with a receiver's finesse. And guess what? Reports say that Tulsa-based connections, his work ethic, and his leadership in the locker room have caught the eye of NFL GMs nationwide. They're salivating over his potential. And the Cardinals? They know, they verbally acknowledge, that Wilson is a cornerstone piece for their future. But what if the Commanders, with their new regime, just made a deal so colossal that it would send shockwaves through the league? Imagine this. Washington, desperate for a game-breaking wide receiver after years of almosts and could-be's, decides to go all in. They're eyeing Michael Wilson like a hawk. Not just as a stopgap or a nice addition, but as their franchise WR, the guy who can turn their offense from okay to legendary. Now that's where it gets insane. Reports suggest that Washington's front office, led by Adam Peters, has been secretly negotiating with the Cardinals for WEKS. Why? Because they believe Wilson is the missing puzzle piece. They see a future where, with him, Jahan Dotson, and Jaden Daniels, who's emerging as a superstar, they can compete with anyone. They're dreaming of a dynamic passing attack that can rival the Eagles, the Cowboys, and even the best in the league. And the best part? The Cardinals are actually open to trading him. Why? Because they're in a rebuild. They want picks. They want young assets. They're looking toward the next phase of their franchise. They understand that Wilson's value is sky-high, and they're willing to move him if the deal is right. And rumblings say that Washington has the capital, the draft picks, and the promising young players to make it happen. But the question is, what would Washington give up? How deep are they willing to go? Well, insider reports leak that they're prepared to offer a package that includes multiple 2026 draft picks, possibly a first-rounder, a second, and perhaps a promising young defensive player or two. They see Wilson as the ultimate piece, the secret ingredient that can turn their offense into a powerhouse. And here's the kicker. The league whispers that this isn't just about the 2026 season. No, folks, they're thinking bigger. This is about establishing a dynasty, about making a statement that the Commanders are back to compete at the highest level. Wilson's emergence could be that spark that ignites their revival and puts the whole league on notice. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about Wilson's future? What if he stays in Arizona? That's the thing. The Cardinals value him highly, but they also know that Wilson's potential skyrockets if he lands with a team that already has a solid QB and a strong offense. And Washington. They're just the perfect fit, young, talented, hungry, ready to build a winning culture around him. And let me tell you, this isn't some distant pipe dream. Sources close to the situation say that Washington's brass has been all in lately, pushing hard for this deal. They've even floated it to the Cardinals during secret meetings at the NFL Scouting Combine. Can you imagine the ripple effect? The league's eyes will go nuts when they see Wilson in the burgundy and gold. Now, think about the impact on the field. Picture this, Wilson lining up on the outside, running those devastating go routes, drawing double coverage because of his speed and precise route running. Imagine him hauling in bombs from Jaden Daniels, who's already proving to be a difference maker, an emerging star with a rocket arm. Imagine the crowd going wild when Wilson catches that deep ball, streaking past defenders, taking it to the house, game after game. This is what dreams are made of. And what about the fans? Oh man, the passion, the excitement. Wilson in Washington would cause a frenzy. Social media would explode, memes, videos, GIFs of him making highlight reel catches, touchdown dances echoing across the nation. The fan bases would unite, rallying behind their new hero. The Wilson to Washington narrative would be everywhere, on sports shows, podcasts, every corner of NFL discourse. The whole league would be talking about the ultimate power move by Washington. But it's not just about the now, it's about future dominance. With Wilson, the Commanders could suddenly boast one of the most electrifying offenses in the NFL. Their passing attack would become lethal, their play-action game unstoppable. Opponents would fear him, because he's that guy who can change the course of a game with one catch, one run, one moment of brilliance. And think further, if they land him, they're not just making a splash for 2026. No, they're planting the seed for a dynasty. They're sending a message that Washington is back, that they're no longer the underdog but a team to be reckoned with. And Wilson? He becomes the face of that revolution, the symbol of a franchise that refused to stay down. Now I want you to really imagine this, Wilson in a Commander's jersey, the crowd roaring, the team rallying behind him, his name on everyone's lips, touchdowns on primetime TV, highlight reels blaring across social media. And this could be just the beginning if Washington pulls off this move. Because here's the truth, what's unfolding right now might be one of the most ambitious, most daring, most iconoclastic trades in NFL history. The league has never seen anything quite like this. The stakes, massive, the rewards, immense, and the sheer audacity of it all, it's simply electric. So if you're a true NFL fan, a believer in greatness, you better smash that like button, share this video, because what I've just shared with you is the tip of the iceberg. There's more coming. Secrets, whispers, insider info, and trust me, when this deal finally drops, it'll shake the league to its core. And now, picture this. Michael Wilson, wearing the burgundy and gold, running down the sideline, catching that deep ball, leaving defenders in the dust. The stadium erupts. The record crowds chant his name. That iconic moment, etched into history, that's not just a dream, that's the future. The Commanders with Wilson ascending back to the top, the league trembling at their power, and you'll say you saw it coming because you knew the truth all along. This is not just a trade. This is a movement, a revolution, a statement to the NFL and to the world. The Commanders are back, and they're here to dominate. And Wilson, he's the face of that new era. The star who will light up the sky for years to come. So stay tuned, stay hyped, because what's coming next will be even more epic. The NFL's biggest secret about to be revealed. Are you ready to witness history? If you're a Washington Commanders fan, smash that like. Share this story far and wide, because what's happening right now is the beginning of something legendary. Get ready, because the greatest trade in NFL history is just about to unfold. And you, my friend, are right in the middle of it. This is the era of greatness. This is the moment that will be talked about for generations. And it all starts with Michael Wilson, the future franchise star, the game changer, the player who can redefine everything. It's happening, and it's happening now.